Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my gaming channel. My math channel. This is my math channel. My gaming channel is a totally different one. Anyway, welcome back to my math channel. Is this what happens when you don't show your work? Maybe not for 1+1, but make sure you're showing work as much as possible. So our last section of the chapter, there are actually 7 sections in chapter 2, but we're going to stop with this one. So we're not going to do section 2.7. So commission and fees is our last one, and we are starting on page 107. So there are lots of different careers in the world, and the money paid to a person in exchange for their work is called a wage. Wages can be paid in different ways: hourly, salaried, or a percent of their sales called commission, and that's the one we're going to look at today. So these are the 4 ways that people are paid. Maybe like a set amount each hour, such as $15 an hour. Some employees are paid a salary, which is a set amount no matter how many hours they work, such as $45,000 per year. Some employees are paid commission only, which is a percent of the amount of goods or services that they sell. And some employees are paid a small base salary plus a percent of the amount of goods or services that they sell. So kind of like a waiter or waitress, they get a small salary, well, small hourly wage actually, plus commission or tips, if you want to think of that as kind of a commission as well. But some employees like realtors, car salesmen, stockbrokers, several other things where you're in sales, these people are paid a commission or a percent of the amount they sell, which is called a commission. So if you don't get like an hourly amount or a salary, but you get a percent of whatever you sell, that is called a commission. So for instance, a realtor might sell a house and earn 5% commission on the sale of that house. So if they sell the house for $140,000, 5% of $140,000 is $7,000. So they don't get paid until the house sells. So that's one of the things with commission, is that you do a lot of work and you don't necessarily get paid for it until the sale actually happens. So let's just look at a few examples of commission. Angie works in a jewelry store and earns 6.25% commission on every piece of jewelry that she sells. How much commission does she earn for selling a ring that cost $1,300? So really all we're finding is 6.25% of $1,300, because that's how much she's going to make. The ring sells for $1,300. She gets 6.25% of that, and we know that this word "of" implies multiplication. So really all we're doing is multiplying 6.25 times 1,300. But like always, we don't just multiply 6.25. We move this decimal 2 places to the left, and we're going to multiply 0.0625 times 1,300. And if we do that, we get $81.25. So she sells a ring for $1,300. She gets $81.25 as her commission. This is the amount of money she makes. If she only sells this ring in a day's work, then this is all the money she makes. So commission is kind of tough because you have to keep selling to keep making the money. Sierra's father sells real estate and earns a 3.5% commission on every house he sells. So he makes 3.5%. How much would he earn on a house that sold for $173,500? So what we're really finding is 3.5% of $173,500. So 3.5% of the cost of that house, or the selling price of that house, is what he would make. Does that make sense? If not, put a question mark in the margins and we can talk about it in class. So if we multiply 173,500 times 3.5%, but again, not 3.5, but 0.035, then you get $6,072.5 is what my calculator gives me. But we talked about this today or yesterday, depending on whenever you're watching this, that money, we always have 2 decimals, so don't forget to add that 0 for that. So you try it. There's a check problem on the bottom of page 108. And is this you? Is this the face you're making right now after you've paused this video and tried to do this problem? Hopefully not. Hopefully it's a little bit more of a understanding face. But in the margins next to the check problem, I want you to draw a picture of the face you are making solving this problem. I want to see a picture of the face that you are making solving this problem. All right, next example is a little bit different. The first one, we knew the amount the person sold, and then we found their commission. But in this case, Caleb needs to earn $1,200 each month to cover his living expenses. He earns an 8% commission on everything he sells. What is the minimum amount he needs to sell in order to earn $1,200? So now, instead of the other problems where it was, 3.5% of 173,000, 8% of what amount gives a commission of $1,200? This is what we're asking now. 8% of what amount of the product or whatever it is he needs to sell is going to give $1,200 in commission. So the amount he needs to earn $1,200 means he needs a commission of $1,200. So 8% of what equals $1,200? And we could set this up as an equation, 0.08 of what, so times what, and instead of what, I'll use a variable x, equals 1,200. And if it's 8% times x, remember the goal of solving equations is to get x by itself. So if it's 0.08 times x, then we can divide both sides of this by 0.08. And again, this is a little different than it's written in the book, so you probably want to write down this example on page 108 somewhere in the space that you have, so that you have an example to look at when you're doing the homework or doing the problems in class. So the amount he needs to sell is $15,000 a month in order to make $1,200 in commission. So 8% of 8% of 15,000 is $1,200 in commission. Does that make sense? If not, put a question mark, and that way you remember to ask about that tomorrow in class. Let's look at another example. Samantha wants to earn at least $760 this month in commission. She earns 4% commission on everything she sells. What's the minimum amount she needs to sell in order to earn $760? So again, 4.5% of what amount is going to give us $760 in commission? So we can set this up as an equation, 0.045 times something, so I'll just say times x, equals 760. And then to solve for x, to get x by itself, we would divide both sides by 0.045. So 760 divided by 0.045 is $16,888.89 if rounded. So 0.045% of $16,888.89 equals that $760 in commission. So she has to sell more than the last guy because her percent of commission is smaller. So this is why commission life is tough. You can earn a lot if you are good at selling, but if you're not a big salesperson, then it's tough and you never really know how much you're going to make because it's all depending on what you're going to sell. So there's a problem similar to that on page 109. You guys have a test next week. Hopefully this is none of you. This kid's face cracks me up. Anyway, try the problem on the bottom of page 109. We'll check the answers together in class tomorrow and let me know if you have any questions and we can talk about those as well. All right, peace out. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe.